Welcome. Today I will be paraphrasing, summarizing, and sharing for the February 14th Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. And happy Valentine's Day. We'll begin with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Take a moment to look over this reading. The question of the day is, how has Al-Anon helped me accept the reality of my relationships today? The passage begins with this person describing how that some of their relationships changed once they worked the steps. It goes on to say that working their program has helped them to accept that some relationships got better and some did not, and some ended. This person talks about accepting love from the relationships that they do have. And we can respect people's desire to change and to not change. And we respect ourselves. Today's reminder: when we clean up our side of the street, we know we're doing our part, and we can let go of the rest. And the quote is from Intimacy in Alcoholic Relationships. And it talks about letting our higher powers care develop and grow our relationships. And we let go of trying to make them what we think they should be. So how has Al-Anon helped me accept the reality of my relationships today? Today I feel like, because I've been in program so long, that like I haven't changed. I don't feel like I've changed that much since I first came to Al-Anon. But then again, that may not be accurate at all, because I feel like I'm always changing. I feel like I'm always evolving. Like right now, I feel like I'm in the least conformity that I've ever been in. As much as possible, I try to do what works for me, and I minimally take into consideration what I think society expects, or what I think society wants me to do. I don't want to make people uncomfortable, but at the same time, I try to gently do things the way I want to do them. And I'm trying to think of a good example. A winter storm watch just popped up in the right-hand corner of the computer I'm using. That's what I was looking at and sighing. But when I was first reading this passage, I was thinking of when I was really first working the steps in Al-Anon, when I was making big changes in my life. My closest relatives, I think, had like they, I don't think they were sure what to make of me because they could see that I was changing. This is all my perception. But me and my brother did go through something where I guess what I inadvertently did is I did his inventory for him, which I should not have done, and then I apologized. But that led to him not talking to me for a while. And then I apologized. And thank goodness we have a good base now and we get along. But I feel like I remember being in Al-Anon and talking to people in Al-Anon and saying, should I have not done that? Because I wrote him this letter and it just said, I didn't appreciate when you did this and this and this, and this negatively impacted me. And it was all things that directly had to do with me, but they still weren't like it was. If I had already been working my problem, I wouldn't have had to take it out on him. I could have just dealt with it within myself. And that's what I ultimately told him. Over the time that he wasn't talking to me, I was working a lot. I was working my program a lot. And I finally was able to say to him, I just had things to work through. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I took it out on you. And then we were able to move forward. But I like this part that says, it's today's reminder. We clean up our side of the street. We know our integrity is in place. We've done our part and we can let go of the results and be happy. That's a good, I feel like that's a promise. I feel like that's a good promise. And then, of course, also just accepting reality as it is. When I'm not forcing things, when I'm not trying to force solutions, when I'm just able to observe what's going on and see it clearly, then I feel like that's the healthiest place to be because I know where things stand. And currently, I don't feel like I'm in any kind of situation where I think it's one thing, but it's actually another thing. But I have had times in my life, relationships in my life, with partners where I thought I wanted something, but the person I was with was very happy with the way things were. I thought I wanted more. And even though that person was clear, somehow I thought in my mind that they meant something else. It's all part of, I guess, maturing and being secure enough, I think, to have faith that I can be fine, just me, that I can be fine. now I'm in a very solid partnership, I feel like. And there are times when I think, my gosh, I've gotten so comfortable in this partnership. What if something happens to my partner? And how would I how would I continue on? Because I was completely self-sufficient for many years, and then when I agreed to I guess to live with my partner, which is its own story. I actually did a video on it, but once I did that, like, so many things are divided in half, so I don't have to do a lot of the things that I used to have to do. So now I think, like, I would have to do that again. Like, I haven't, this is going to sound weird, but I have never slept in this new house without my partner here. I slept alone in my old house for over 10 years. I'm thinking of the times that I lived in my house where nobody else was there, not my son, nobody, no other human being. And now I think I've lived with my partner for a year and a half, and I have never been here overnight without him. It's an odd, when I think about it, it's like, wow, how did that happen? But I guess it's not a big deal. I mean, if he had to go somewhere and he wasn't here, then I'm sure I would be okay. But I don't know. It's just, I was thinking about things, the reality of my relationships today. So, in summary, I'm very grateful. I have a lot of healthy relationships, and Al-Anon has helped me to cultivate those relationships that are healthy and to weed out the ones that aren't. How's that? How's that for succinct after 12 minutes? Holy mackerel. All right. Oh, this page has a tab on it. I'm going to read it to myself now. This is about confusion, how sometimes we feel confused, and that it's often a gift from our higher power. The passage begins with this person saying that they often felt a desperate need to find solutions, and but they didn't have all the information they needed. But somehow, when they felt completely ready to take action, the information they needed was there. When this person feels confused, they think of it as grace, that it may not be time for them to act. They liken managing confusion like cooking something in the oven. You don't take it out until it's ready. Just like if the solution isn't clear or ready, it's not time. It's not time to take it out of the oven. Today's reminder talks about thanking our higher power for our experience, even if it seems uncomfortable at the time. reminds us to look at every situation with gratitude. And the quote is from Helen Keller. And it's about being content no matter what the situation is. All the wonders of the world. It's a good reminder. I think that I obviously being confused is not one of my favorite feelings, and I like the reminder that sometimes we don't have to act yet. We can just wait. Wait for all the information, wait till we feel comfortable, wait till we have some kind of divine guidance that makes us feel better about a decision that we're making. We'll close out with the Serenity Prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.